Welcome back to the part 2 of Life of Pi. Suppose if you have not watched the part 1, click the I button on the screen and go back, watch and come back. Yes, so continuing with the story. So we are here, 2.5 days. Pi was without water, without even a drop of water. He is surviving and he is just very weak by the body as well as by the mind. He was so weak. Okay, so what happens next? See, 3 days without water, parched throat, unbearable pressure at the back of the throat, asphyxiation. So for the first 3 days, he don't get even a drop of water, I told you. And what happens? See, a man can survive even without food, but water is a very essential need of every man. Without water, no man could survive. By drinking water alone, man can survive, but without water, survival is a question mark. So 3 days, he is starving without water. Okay, his throat become parched. Parched is nothing but very dry. So parched land and solvanga. Parched land na ipo நம்ம like say for example summer season லலாம் இந்த திருச்சி மதுரை சைடுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த நிலம்லாம் பாலமா அப்படியே விரிசல் விட்டுருக்கும். அதுதான் parched land அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். So அதே மாதிரி his throat become parched. Okay, it's very dry. It has become very dry and he could feel a very hard pressure. Okay, something is giving some pressure in his back side of the throat. Okay, it's a total discomfort feel. So at a time he felt that he would die without water, and that's a state called asphyxiation. Okay, the spelling is here, asphyxiation. It's the state of body where death arises due to lack of oxygen supplied to the body. So by drinking water, what we will have? So water is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen, H2O, two parts of hydrogen and oxygen. So oxygen gives some refreshment to our body. So say for example, if you are listening to maths class or a boring physics class, what happens? You will feel sleepy, isn't it? So that times if you try to get sleep, if your ma'am or if your sir caught you, he will definitely say you, hey, go out, wash your face, drink some water and come back. So that's what we are practiced to do, but we don't know why they are asking us to do so. So when we drink water or when we wash our face with water, we will have some sort of refreshment. Okay, the body is activated, is revived with the water that we take in. So that's why all the doctors says us to drink a lot of water. Okay, so Pi's pathetic condition is what? See, he has got a ocean around him, but he could not drink even a drop of it as the water is salty. Okay, so he is starving. He feels that he will die soon without water. Then blood turned to a thick syrup. So his blood turned to a thick syrup. So his blood is not flowing properly. Okay, he could feel some numbness, somewhat. அப்படியே நரம்பெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் இறுகுன மாதிரி, ரொம்ப டைட்டான மாதிரி, ரத்தமே ஓடாம அப்படியே உறைஞ்சு போன மாதிரி ஃபீல் பண்றான். Okay, so barely he needs water. Okay, see the word water. Now he doesn't feels about his family. He doesn't feels about the great beast tiger as well as the hyena. The only word that comes to his mind is water. Okay, so he is ready to face even his death for the water. So his mind says that only presently. That is, he needs water, that's all. He doesn't think of the Richard Parker. He doesn't think of that he is orphaned, he lost his family, nothing. Okay, so his mind is fully of a single thought, that is water. And at a point he is very tired also to think. He is totally exhausted. To think also he is totally exhausted. So he doesn't think moreover, and he needs only one thing, that is water. So that thirst for water, it activated his brain and he started searching for the water. See, started the search. So he started to search the water, and the ugly foul creature hyena. So when he starts to search the water, I told you, so the thoughts came into his mind. So it's a lifeboat. So a lifeboat is used in the time of emergency. So when people are boarded on emergency, they will definitely need what? Say for example, இப்போ நம்ம வண்டி வாங்குறோம்னா அதுல ஒரு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எய்ட் கிட் மாதிரி வச்சிருப்பாங்க இல்லையா. ஸோ எங்கேயாவது கீழே விழுந்துட்டாலோ இல்லை ஏதாவது ஸ்பேர்ஸ் மாற்றணும்னாலோ அதுக்கும் சின்ன சின்ன திங்ஸ்லாம் வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அதே மாதிரி ஸோ he is thinking now only, அந்த thirst for water making him to think. ஓகே, ஸோ என்ன திங்க் பண்றான் அப்படின்னா, ஓகே இப்போ லைஃப் போட்ல இருக்கும். அப்ப லைஃப் போட்ல கண்டிப்பா நம்மளுக்கு உயிர் வாழ்றதுக்கு திங்ஸ் கண்டிப்பா அதுல வச்சிருப்பாங்க. ஒரு நல்ல ஷிப்போட கேப்டன் கண்டிப்பா இதெல்லாம் செக் பண்ணிருப்பாரு. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி தாட்ஸ்லாம் வரும்போது he confirms that water will be definitely there in the lifeboat, and he started the search. So when he started to search for the water, the hyena, see, he called it as the ugly foul creature hyena. Ugly asingama ஒரு மாதிரி foul ஆன creature, ஒரு மாதிரி cunning ஆன creature, the hyena. So before itself, the hyena had killed the zebra as well as the orangutan. So he totally hated the presence of hyena. As well as then when he started searching for water, it also started staring at him. Okay, it started staring at him, and what he has done is he totally hated it, and he with his oar he started to kick it. Okay, so then this happened, and for some time the hyena stops, and it's just it just calms by itself. So one can easily understand the hyena does like this because of the fear of the Richard Parker. So who is the Richard Parker? It's the tiger. So tiger is under the tarpaulin and it's staring. So the hyena calms down itself and it's just hit its face. Okay, so we can clearly understand that the hyena is totally very afraid of the presence of Richard Parker. Okay, then Richard Parker's strange behavior. So Richard Parker, for the first 2.5 days to 3 days even, it behaved very strangely. Okay, so a very small creature than the Richard Parker is hyena. It had killed 2 creatures. Even then he is very quiet and he is sitting inside the tarpaulin sheet. So its behavior is so strange. And why? The reason can be put in 2 things. That is, whenever the father start off any journey or whenever the father start to take any animal outside of the den, he will give some sedatives. Okay, so sedatives means அந்த மயக்க ஊசி சொல்வாங்க இல்லையா. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு sedatives வந்து அந்த ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கருக்கு மேபி இந்த மாதிரி டிராவல்ன்றதுனால he might have given, the father might have given. That may be one of the reasons. The next reason is it also can be the shipwreck. Okay, when the ship wrecks, it will give a massive sound, isn't it? The break of all the things, and also it's a heavy wave, the sounds, everything may cause some sickness to him, as well as the sea sickness. Every animal will have some sea sickness. அதாவது கடல்ல போகும்போது அதோட mode of transportation will be quite different, isn't it? கடல்ல போற அந்த டைம் இல்ல ஜெட் லாக் சொல்லுவாங்க. ஃப்ளைட்ல போயிட்டு கொஞ்ச நேரம் நம்மளுக்கு எப்படி பஸ்ல போனா நம்மளுக்கு டயர்டா இருக்குல்ல, அதே மாதிரி ஃப்ளைட்ல போனாலும் ரொம்ப நேரம் டிராவல் பண்ணாலும் ஜெட் லாக் அப்படி சொல்லுவாங்க. அதே மாதிரி கடல்ல ரொம்ப நேரம் போனாலும் சீ சிக்னஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ கடல்ல போற அந்த டயர்ட்னஸ் மேபி இருக்கலாம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி விஷயத்தால தான் ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கர் ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரேஞ்சா பிஹேவ் பண்ணுது அப்படின்னு அவன் நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கான். தென் slowly reached the stock area. It's the Parker's den. So slowly, inch by inch, he started moving in search of the stock area. I told you every lifeboat will be having a stock area. So he is slowly reaching the stock area. The stock area is nothing but it's a Richard Parker's den. So Richard Parker is staying in that only. Okay. So then what happened? See, a number of life jackets. So life jackets, I'll show you the picture on the screen. So a number of life jackets are found in that Richard Parker's den. At last found a stock of drinking water cans. So when he is very close to the Richard Parker, he saw many huge number of life jackets arranged. So life jacket color is also in orange. So tiger's color is also in the orange shade. So first he frightened whether he is near to Richard Parker, but it's not tiger, it's a life jacket. Then slowly he moved to the stock area and thereby he sees the clear view of Richard Parker. Richard Parker's beneath side, that's the back side of Richard Parker, is clearly visible to him. So thereby he opens the stock box and he saw a very good number of stock of drinking cans available in that stock box. Okay, then a clear and closer view. So this is the first time Richard Parker gets a very Pi gets a very clear and closer view of Richard Parker. Okay, he could see the back of the tiger very closer, and this is the first time he gets a very closer view of Richard Parker. Then took a can, opened with a tarpaulin hook. So I told you there are number of cans available in that stock box, and from that he took a can outside. A drinking can will be visible in the screen now. So have you seen it? It's similar to a Coca-Cola can. Okay. So in that drinking water will be written in that. So he took off one of the can, and it's a tin-like structure, and so he could not open it with his fingers. As well as the mouth, the teeth also didn't be worked with it. So he took the tarpaulin hooks. So I told you a tarpaulin sheet is there on the lifeboat. மாற்றத்துக்கு ஒரு hook like structure கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க. That also you can see it on the screen. So with the help of the tarpaulin hooks, which is so blunt na sharp இல்லாத ஒரு மாதிரி அந்த கூர்மையா இல்லாத அந்த tarpaulin hooks கொக்கிகளை வச்சு அந்த என்ன சொல்றது அதுல இப்படி இடிக்கிற மாதிரி இடிச்சு அதை ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டான் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா. அதுல இருந்து ஒரு drop of water அவன் கண்ணுக்கு தெரியுது. So that's the elixir of life. What's the elixir of life? அமிர்தம்னு சொல்வாங்க இல்லையா? So he sees the elixir of life. Then he tasted the elixir of life. It's an unequaled gift. So he took the can in his hand and he rested in the bow area of he sat in the bow area of the lifeboat, and he just tilted the can, and drop by drop he enjoyed, okay, the elixir of water, that is the elixir of life, ran into his dead body. Okay, இப்போ தண்ணி இல்லாத ஒரு பாடி எப்படி இருக்கு, ரொம்ப ஸ்டிஃபா, ரொம்ப என்ன சொல்றது, ரொம்ப வீக்கா இருக்கிற பாடிக்குள்ள இந்த அந்த கூல் வாட்டர் டிராப்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா அப்படியே அவன் டேஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டான். So it is unequaled by any gift that he is received in his life. Many Christmas gifts, many birthday gifts, Diwali presents, lots and lots he had received in his life, but it's not at all equaled by this tin of water. So there he came back. There his mind is revived and refreshed. Okay. Then what happens? See, it's an unequaled gift, I told you. Then a golden cup, 4 cans, and revived, came back to life, and his head became clear. So that can of drinking water is compared to a golden cup. He feels that can is a golden cup. That much precious it's to him. Then In that size of can, it holds around 500 ml, that is half liter of water. The same time he drank about 4 cans of water, that is 2 liters of water he has drank. And then after drinking he is totally revived, refreshed, and his head become clear. Now only thoughts, that is he could clearly think. Okay, so his head, his body, everything is revived, is activated once again, and fresh perspirant, that is fresh sweat, came out of his body. So far it's so salty, and the sea water, it will be very salty, and it gives him extra sickness. Now the fresh water gives him some freshness to his mind then. And roughly when we calculate the water stock, it will be lasting up to for 124 days. So he has got a stock of water for 124 days. He had roughly calculated, okay, by the number of cans. And Richard Parker had to be tame him, okay, had to tame him. Him here refers to the Richard Parker. It's not him or me, but it's him and me. So in the middle, I told you your book is an abridged version. So in the middle itself, the hyena will be killed by Richard Parker. Okay, when the hyena killed the Richard Parker, for the first time he starts attacking Pi also. So he will be jumping away from the lifeboat, and he will be in a lifebuoy. That's the thing, it's here. So whenever Richard Parker is staring at him, Pi will be jumping off, and he will be jumping to this lifebuoy, and he will be building a temporary setup. If you have watched that movie, you might have seen, okay, a temporary setup will be built with some woods and life jackets that are taken from this lifeboat. So in this area only he will be living, and in this lifeboat for few days Richard Parker will be living. So what's the thing? So what he had to do? He had to tame him. Tame in the sense he had to make something friendly. They should have some friendly contact with each other. Tame பண்றதுனா ஒண்ணும் இல்ல. இந்த சர்க்கஸ்ல எல்லாம் ஜூல எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த அனிமல்ஸ் வந்து குச்சி வச்சு டேம் பண்ணுவாங்க இல்லையா, அவங்க சொல்ற படி கேட்கும். அதே மாதிரி இவனும் அந்த ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கரை டேம் பண்ணணும், அதாவது இவன் சொல்றதெல்லாம் கேட்க வைக்கணும். ஏன்னா he has also got an experience in the zoo. ஓகே, அவங்க அப்பா பார்த்துருக்காங்க, அவங்க அப்பா செய்யறதெல்லாம். ஸோ அதனால அந்த குச்சி வச்சு கொஞ்சம் ஏதாவது டேம் பண்ணணும். இட்ஸ் நாட் அபவுட் ஹீ ஆர் மீ. இப்போ இந்த டைம்ல இட்ஸ் நாட் அபவுட் ஹீ ஆர் மீ, அவனா நானான்ற போர் கிடையாது. இட்ஸ் அபவுட் ஹீ அண்ட் மீ. அவனும் நானும் எப்படி இந்த இடத்த சர்வை பண்றது, எப்படி இங்க இருந்து தப்பிச்சு போறது அப்படின்றத தான் நாங்க கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும். இட்ஸ் நாட் அபவுட் ஹிம் ஆர் மீ, இட்ஸ் அபவுட் ஹிம் அண்ட் மீ. ஓகே, தென் a part of me liked him, wants him to live. So a part of him, a part of his mind tells that Richard Parker should live. Okay, so think of, he also says that if Richard Parker is not in that ship, that is, if it's not in that lifeboat, he'll be fearing. Okay, he had no companion. So Richard Parker இருக்குன்ற பயத்திலேயாவது அவன் உயிர் வாழ்ந்துட்டு இருந்தான். சப்போஸ் அந்த ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கர் இல்லைன்னா நினைச்சு பாருங்க, அவன் தனியாவே இருப்பான். அவனுக்கு வாழ்க்கையோட அந்த என்ன சொல்றது, எல்லாரும் போயிட்டாங்களே அந்த நினைப்பு, நெகட்டிவ் ஃபீலிங்ஸ் வில் பி வாட் ஹையர் அப் இல்லையா. ஸோ ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கர் இருக்கிறதுனால ஆல் திஸ் நெகட்டிவ் தாட்ஸ் ஆர் சப்மர்ஜ்ட், அண்ட் த ஃபியர் ஆன் ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கர் ஒன்லி இஸ் presently occupying his mind. So indirectly Richard Parker is a key for Pi's survival. ஸோ ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கரால தான் அவன் உயிரோட இருக்கான் அப்படின்றத தெளிவா சொல்றான் இந்த இடத்துல. தென் a part of me liked him. என்னோட மனசுல ஒரு பகுதி எனக்கு அவனை பிடிக்குது, அவன் வாழணும் அப்படின்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். if he dies he would be orphaned. சப்போஸ் ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கர் செத்துட்டான், இல்ல ரிச்சர்ட் பார்க்கர் ஏதோ ஒரு கிளைமேட்டிக் கண்டிஷன்ல உடம்பு சரியா ஏதோ ஒரு விதத்துல எப்படியோ சப்போஸ் if he dies he will again become orphaned. Already he lost his family and once again he will become orphaned. அவனை ஏதாவது எதிர்த்துட்டு அந்த அவன்கிட்ட தப்பிக்கணும், அவன் பார்க்க கூடாது, அந்த பக்கம் போக கூடாதுன்ற பயத்திலேயே அவன் ஏதோ வாழ்ந்துட்டு இருக்கான். சப்போஸ் அவன் இல்லைன்னா அந்த இடத்துக்கும் அந்த இதுக்கு வாய்ப்பே இல்லாம போயிடும். he will be again orphaned. So இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு confused state of mind, he starts to tame him. and they both were survived together in the same lifeboat after some time, after some days. Okay, so you will be surprised. They both were in the same lifeboat for about 227 days. Okay, how many days? It's not a 1 day or 2 days. They were survived in the same lifeboat for 227 days. Okay, then an island, the painful lost glimpse. At last, when there is again a huge storm, the lifeboat had automatically ended up in a shore. Okay, it's actually an island. Okay, when the lifeboat reaches an island, it belongs to Mexico. Okay, it's an island area in Mexico, and there the lifeboat stops, and Richard Parker came down as well as Pi. He was thrown to the shore, and he was lying on the shore, and he is looking at the Richard Parker. It just get down from the lifeboat and it just enter into the jungle of the island without even turning at him. ஸோ இவ்வளோ நாள் 227 நாள் அவங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் ஒரே லைஃப் போட்டில் இருக்காங்க. பட் வென் ஹி கம்ஸ் டு த ஷோர் ஆஃப் அன் ஐலாண்ட், அது அப்படியே ஜஸ்ட் இறங்கி அப்படியே அந்த ஜங்கிள்குள்ளே, அந்த காட்டுக்குள்ளே போயிடுது. இவனும் பார்க்குறான் அது எப்படியாவது திரும்பி பார்க்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இட் டசன்ட் கிவ் ஹிம் ஈவன் அ லாஸ்ட் கிளிம்ஸ், ஒரு லாஸ்ட் லுக், ஒரு தடவை கூட திரும்பி பார்க்காம இட் ஜஸ்ட் என்டர்ஸ் இன்டு த ஜங்கிள். And some other people who came by some big ship saw Spy on the lifeboat and they rescued him. Okay, that was a very painful moment for him. For 227 days they were both together, but the animal doesn't give a last glimpse, last look kuda kudukama adu patukku adu velaiya paathuட்டு jungle kulla poichu. So that was so very painful for him, and he even cried for that. Okay, so thereby he was rescued and he was reunited with his family members in the sense other relatives. Okay, so there ends the story. So I think that many might have watched this movie. Suppose if you have not watched that movie, these points or these things will be helpful, I hope. Fine. If you are not our subscriber, do subscribe to our channel for more updates. I hope you will like this lesson. Thank you. We will meet you soon with another video. Thank you.